Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone, and I finally discovered what this is for. Now it's making a lot of sense, and now I can actually hear myself when I'm actually doing reviews now. So don't forget, on Taco Tuesdays, we review new movies here. So not since 2016's Suicide Squad, I had vowed to myself, I will never pay to see another one of these movies ever again. I thought everything about that movie was terrible. I hated the casting. Will Smith and Margot Robbie did carry the movie. However, the movie was still horrendous in my opinion. I did not like the cast of villains that they used for the movie. Oftentimes, every performance in the movie felt very cartoonish. Also, the location of the movie, I felt like the entire thing was shot on a studio backlot and it looked very obvious. I even thought with all the money that this production spent on the soundtrack, I was like, if they would have cut out about 5 or 6 songs, they could have saved some money, maybe actually had an actual location that looked more realistic. The original Suicide Squad felt like one big ad campaign for Hot Topic. I was thinking to myself, even though this movie is really bad, the costumes are kind of cool for the most part. And I was even thinking, you know what? This is a cosplayer's dream come true. Too bad the movie sucks. However, unfortunately, even though I didn't like the movie, and a lot of other people did not like the movie, this film made enough money to spawn a sequel. However, when James Gunn got temporarily canceled and was not going to be involved in the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, he had already been grabbed to make the Suicide Squad sequel. And I thought to myself, hey, they might just get my money back after all. So like I said, once I knew James Gunn was aboard to be on this project, and once I heard this movie was going to be rated R, I was like, oh, I'm in. This movie's going to be actually pretty cool, I bet. As much as I enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy films that he has made, I knew this movie might be a little bit better because he wouldn't be under the microscope of the evil mouse. And yes, this movie went beyond my expectations. I expected this movie to be pretty cool, but this movie was actually pretty awesome. This film does follow the same kind of formula as far as why the Suicide Squad is needed and a new team is assembled. Margot Robbie returns as Harley Quinn in this film, and this is probably her best performance as this character. We have seen her other times in these movies, and I felt like this was the best performance. It wasn't overly done. It wasn't overly cartoony. And I felt like she wasn't all over the screen. I felt like her character was exactly where she needed to be at every single time of the movie. Idris Elba has crossed over from Marvel to DC in this film. In this movie, he's playing Bloodsport. He's the second main lead of the film next to Margot Robbie. And it's actually pretty cool that he's one of the main leads of this film because as much of an important character that he was in the film The Thor movies and also in the Marvel Universe, as important of a character that he was, he just did not get enough screen time, I thought. So I thought it was pretty awesome to see him showcase as like one of the main heroes in this film, and I thought he did an amazing job. I really hope if they do make a sequel, hopefully we get James Gunn back and hopefully we get Idris Elba back in the role. That's another thing about this movie. The characters are very well done, and they're very likable. Even John Cena gives a very good performance in this movie. For those of you that have been following me for some time, know that I'm really big on filming on location. I'm not into all these movies with all this green screen, because it looks very fake. I don't buy it half the time. I don't even buy the fact that the characters are in danger, because I know it's just a green screen. However, in this film, they're actually filming on location. The locations look very real. And that's another thing I'm going to point out. This film has a lot of daylight shots in it. This majority of this movie is filmed during the day. That makes a very big difference, and it actually made a more enjoyable movie. And I'm not saying movies can't be shot in the dark. However, it goes back to my theory about green screen. If they're shooting in the dark, they're probably just in a studio lot somewhere shooting on a green screen. Since this movie is rated R and the Dark Overlord of Disney is not standing over James Gunn's back watching everything that he does, there are a lot of elements of horror in this film. So it's pretty cool that James Gunn went back to his roots to shoot this movie. I thought that was pretty awesome. So as you can tell, I was really liking this movie. This is how you make a good DC movie, and this is how you do it right. The fact that James Gunn can not only be working for Marvel and then jump from Marvel to DC and then make this kind of a movie and pretty quickly with all these different new characters that he's not used to using says a lot about the director himself. Says that he's very talented and he knows what he's doing. He might be one of the few that actually do. I'm going to give Suicide Squad an A-. So go check it out, people. Hopefully you like what you see here. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'm Mike the Movie Misfit, and I'll see you at the movies.
Get more out of life. Go out to a movie.